Welcome back, everyone. Look who's back. Dr. Paul.
Great
Good
to be
have
back.
you back.
Oh, it's back. Yeah.
Well, you know, the Michael Bolton of health and wellness here got sick. So all of us were thinking, you don't get sick. All the legumes and all this other stuff.
I know.
You know what happened? So we figured out that he secretly on the side is going out and getting beef jerky on the side. And we just figured out that that's what and then but it happens to be serious. You're back, huh?
Yeah,
you're back, but you're back.
Yeah, it's a long nagging injury, literally. And so last week hit a tipping point, but you know, I'm hoping I'm on the rebound, but unfortunately it might be time for the knife.
Wait.
I know, but even it happens to the best of them, you know. I mean, I'm a tennis player, and when I hear about these tennis players going under the knife, Andy Murray, for example,
yeah, sure,
world-class professional tennis player, he had the same thing that I'm expected to have. So I've postponed it for 30 years.
Okay, well, it's about time you got around to it then, I think. We're going to talk more about that next week.
Yeah, good.
I'd love to talk about that. A lot of us suffer from back issues,
Yep.
varying degrees, not as serious as yours. Right. But since you mentioned the knife, why don't we dissect the Thanksgiving dinner?
How about that? Perfect timing.
Okay.
Perfect timing.
So let's break it down. You tell us the appetizer, the meal, the dessert. Okay,
good.
Go for it.
So listen, the day begins in preparation for this Thanksgiving meal that we've looked forward to for, once a year.
Right.
And we want to enjoy it. We want to indulge. And I tell people, you know what? Perfectly fine. You know, this is your time to cheat, go off your clean, healthy eating, and go ahead and indulge and enjoy those foods that you might not ordinarily eat. Now, there are some strategies to help you contain it and not blow it completely, out of the proportion. And so one of the things I always recommend is eating a healthy breakfast. Because by eating a healthy breakfast allows you to then enjoy the meal a little bit more sensibly. But we start with appetizers, and even before that we start with drinks, right? And so when you think about what happens before the pre-Thanksgiving meal, there's a lot of soda, there's a lot of drinks available, and some of those drinks, a lot of chips, some fried food. So I tell people all the time, make your pre-Thanksgiving meal have some component of nourishing protein and fiber. Yeah. So if for example, there are some hors d'oeuvres that are, for example, hummus, or some nuts, choose those. You know, you can crack some almonds or some walnuts and eat that with a couple of, cut fresh vegetables. Or if they have a hummus dip, eat the hummus dip. Yeah, but you want to get some protein, and the reason why is because that provides you a little bit of pre-meal fullness and satiation so that you don't overeat. All right, so that's the appetizer.
Good. So then if, the point is well taken, if you have a healthy breakfast, you're satiating your appetite at the beginning of the day, so you're not rolling into this feast starving.
Famished. Oh, man, how so many of us do.
Well, it's going to be hard not to avoid turkey, so let's assume turkey is a part of the meal itself.
I'm going to put turkey on the meal.
Okay, put that on a plate, but what about stuffing? Uh-oh.
Yeah, stuffing is the big one, right? Because think about what stuffing is. I mean, it's oil, it's fat, and it's carbohydrate. There's not much else in it. So those two things are the big whammy that, for our bodies are just not tolerated well. Anybody. And so if you're going to eat stuffing, I would say, how about making some creative homemade stuffing? Or there's so many great recipes right now on the web, on the internet, that include other grains. So things like quinoa. Wild and brown rice, millet, couscous. I mean, there's so many other options you can do for stuffing now that you can still enjoy the wonderful flavor of it. So that would be the one thing. Avoid the traditional kind of breaded stuffing just because it's really not I know we all love it, but there's other adaptations. The turkey is wonderful. It's got the amino acids and the healthy protein that you need in it. And then potatoes. Potatoes have had I don't know, you've been following this, Jesse, like I have, but potatoes have been thrown under the bus for years now because it's this starchy, carbohydrate. Right. Believe it or not, potatoes are a wonderful grain, vegetable, wonderful vegetable. It's got a lot of potassium in it. You just don't want to overindulge with that. Right. But the potatoes are perfectly fine if you can throw in some colored potatoes, some sweet potatoes, put in some, acorn, red potatoes, and then some of the vegetables from the fall vegetable family, things like, I'm drawing a little bit of a blank, but eggcorn squash, butternut squash, buttercup squash. I mean, those are all great squashes, dark, rich, red. So what the benefit of those is beta carotene. So a really healthy, amount of healthy vitamins and minerals in those squashes.
Well, you're making me hungry already.
I know.
And you're right, though, about the squashes. Some of these foods that don't hit your radar every day, like quinoa, right? Hummus, some squashes. they are so delicious.
Yep.
And they do round a meal out in a way that's healthy. You know?
The other thing is cranberries.
Cranberries.
Cranberries,
Oh, God.
wonderful
I
antioxidant.
can't believe I forgot to mention cranberries.
Throw those cranberries all over the meal.
All right, then we're gonna roll into dessert, and before you even say anything, I know you're going to say, get the apple pie, get the pumpkin pie, but watch the ice cream and the whipped cream.
I know. I have a soft spot for that because there's nothing better than a big dollop of whipped cream on top of that pumpkin pie.
Yes.
Worse than that even is the flour of a lot of these pies. And so I tell people all the time when we work with clients, start to make pies that are flourless, crustless. And now if you need to have a crust, there's different variations. Again, you can put in all different types of whole grain crusts because really the crust is just holding it together. And so you don't want to have that heavy breaded flour crust. You want to have a nice flaky whole grain crust or no crust at all, and then you can enjoy the ice cream and the sour cream on top. I mean, the whipped cream on top.
So then there's a payoff on that one.
Yes, there is.
All right,
Absolutely.
fantastic. Well, Paul, happy Thanksgiving to you.
Same to you, Jesse.
It's such a pleasure to work with you.
Thank you.
And
Same here.
have a safe one as well, and we'll see you back here on Monday.
Looking forward to it.
Good, thanks. To see this interview again, head to our website, lookattvonline.com.